Simply Sweet, we learn how to make the perfect savory and sweet tamale, whip up a salty and sweet dessert. We make a peppermint cocktail and spruce up a classic meat and potatoes dish. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Welcome back to Simply Sweet. I'm Allison Gargaro. This time of year is my favorite. I get to share it with my family, friends, and enjoy some of my favorite foods, and that's exactly what I am going to be sharing with you today. First, we start off with trying tamales. I learned the secret on how to make the perfect sweet and savory kind. You gotta check this out. Tamales are a holiday tradition in the Hispanic culture. You can have them stuffed with cheese, any type of meat your heart desires, or the sweet ones, and that's exactly what we will be making today. I am here with Beth, who is the tamale expert, and she is going to share her secret touch with us. During the holiday season, Beth makes anywhere from 100 dozen tamales every single day. So if you can think, that's anywhere from 10 to 20 of these pots. But she also makes her own masa. So what's the process with that?
I buy the cornstarch and I prep my masa. I use the broth, the oil, and a lot of people use lard. I don't. I use oil.
Wow.
And just mix it together with the chili and just mix it to where I get my masa.
And it's all homemade. So some people might buy the store-bought, but no, you're getting it all fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh.
So what's the process for making a tamale, and which one are we going to be making today?
Today we're going to be making the Chile Relleno. Is the one that sells the most. Wow. It's made with the pasilla chili and with cheese.
Okay, and these are fresh that you are steaming?
Yes, so I buy the whole chili and I toast it and peel each chili one by one, and then I cut it, and then it goes into the middle of the tamale.
Yeah, and it smells really good. Is this going to be a little bit of heat from the chili?
The pasilla chili, that's why it gives it a really good flavor, but it's not hot.
Not too hot. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay, so how do we start making these?
So you grab the corn husk, then you spread the masa on your corn husk, and you have to, well, I'm used to grabbing it like this, facing towards my side. So
Okay.
then you put the chili here, and then you put the cheese.
Not skimping on the cheese. This is like a whole block.
And then to cover the cheese, then you put a little bit on top here, so when they're steaming, the cheese doesn't come out.
Oh, and that's
then
going to
you-
melt really nicely, right?
Yes, and then you give it that little special touch.
Oh, a little twist. One right on top. So that's going to give it the color. So then we're going to pop
And you
it.
steam it on the steamer
Okay, so how long will they cook in the steamer?
for about an hour and a half.
I love that. And it's fun that we put the little chili on top, because then you can see that nice pop of green color and know exactly what you're going to be biting into.
Yes.
This is how we make the savory, but let's try making a sweet one. So now we are on to the sweet tamales. What's the difference between this and the savory ones?
The sweet ones are made with pineapple and cinnamon and raisins. It's more like a dessert tamale.
Yum.
So here you have the Chile Relleno with cheese and chili and the pork, and then that's your meal. And if you want a dessert with tamales too, then you have your ones with pineapple and raisins and cinnamon, more on the sweet side.
I love that. And it smells so good right now. Oh, I cannot wait to try them. But the masa is a little bit lighter. Why is that?
Yeah, because it doesn't have the chili. So it's made more with the pineapple and the pineapple juice. It's more like a dessert.
I love that. So I guess let's put this one together.
A lot of people do make them with color. I don't. I like to make them the way my mama taught me.
Aw.
So, and these ones don't have a filling. These ones just have the pineapple and the raisins and the cinnamon. And here you go. You fold them. You give it that little push, and there you go.
Great job. Now that the tamales are made, I think we have to taste them. So let's go with the savory first. Chile Relleno. So not too spicy, but definitely cheesy. Oh my God. That is
You
to
feel
die
the
for.
moist of the masa.
It's
like the
so
pit.
moist.
That's the thing on the tamale, that you have to get it perfect to the perfect touch.
Which you definitely have. Touch of an angel. Oh my gosh. And I really love the pepper. So it is still, you get a little bit of that bite from it, but then the creaminess from the cheese. Oh my gosh. I could eat those all day long. But you do know that dessert is my favorite. So let's give this one a taste. Got to get the raisin and the pineapple in there. Come on. I actually really love the raisins in there. You said maybe some people might not like them, but
it gives it that really good texture and that cinnamon you get right off the bat. And again, that same creamy texture from the matzo.
The moist.
Oh my. A+.
Thank
100%. These are so good. So something great for the holiday season. Again, you make dozens and dozens and dozens a day, but you got to get your hands on one of best tamales.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we share a way to spruce up your classic meat and potatoes dish for the holidays. We're in the holiday spirit here at Eureka's, and not only are we going to be trying a hearty dish, but also one of their famous desserts. So I'm here with owner Brian and executive chef Rafael. So can you tell me a little bit about who this restaurant was named after?
So this restaurant was named after my grandfather, Nick Eureka, and it started in 1995, and it's almost 25 years in the making here.
So cool. And so it's been here through it all. So what was your grandfather famous for?
He was famous for just being a guy who I feel like in a lot of ways brought fine dining to Eureka's. You know, he was always dressed up, you know, shirt and tie, suit, sharp dresser.
That is so special. So what was his favorite dish here?
Well, the one we're featuring today is the one named after him, the chicken sausage a la Nick. His wife, my grandma Phyllis, she always loved the chicken piccata. But these two are always great recommendations if you've never been here.
So Rafael, how do you go through making this dish?
Oh, just to start with a hot pan and roasting the peppers, and then put the chicken and sausage, little salt, and mushrooms, and little brown sauce.
Would you look at that? I mean, talk about a hearty dish. You can't get much more than this here. So not only are you guys on the savory side, but also sweets. What are some of your favorites here?
Oh, I love the Windmill cake. So all of our desserts are from Lamoose and Beverly Hills, and we've been with them since the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since the start, getting our desserts from them. And oh, the Windmill cake is one I definitely got to recommend for you.
Okay.
But after you're telling me about your pecan brownies, maybe the pecan pie would be good.
So either way, you really cannot go wrong here. And there's a bunch of cheesecakes over there as well. That I
Oh,
think
the
you
creme brulee cheesecake for sure too. I almost forgot.
Winner, winner. But you guys, we came here for this dish, so I think we gotta try it.
Would you talk about a meat and potatoes dish for the holidays? I mean, look at how much food you are getting with this chicken and sausage a la Nick. So we gotta give it a try, but I'm so excited to taste that sausage and this homemade marsala sauce. This is out of this world. So you can taste the richness from the sauce, but you're also getting a little bit of bite from the sausage and a little bit of crispiness from those peppers, which we all know and love. You guys, this is absolutely so much food. They are definitely not skimping on the portions here, but not only do they have an A+ in their savory meals, but let's talk about these sweet ones. This is their chocolate windmill cake, and we all know how much I love desserts, so let's dig in. Oops, getting a big bite here. It's like light as a feather, so it's almost like a mousse in the middle, and you're getting that chocolatey layer and then the creaminess and then a little bit of crunch from those chocolate shavings. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is going to be my new favorite chocolate dish in town, but because it's the holidays, why not try the pecan pie as well? Ooh, oh my gosh. A nice thick crust and ooey gooiness of the pecans. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so nice. You get that thick crust and then you're getting the crunch from the nuts, but you can still taste that creamy center. And I mean, that caramel basically just melts in your mouth. You guys, the portions here are huge and you can tell that it was all made with love. So you gotta come down to Eureka's to try your new favorite holiday dish and dessert. The holiday season is my favorite time of year. I love all of the desserts, and one of my favorite treats to make are these nut clusters. This is something that my family makes every single year. It's great to take as a little goodie bag to any holiday parties that you're heading to, or give to your kids' teachers. Everybody is going to love this, and I promise they won't last long.
These nut clusters are super easy to make. It's one of the first memories that I have with my Nana. I used to make them when I was a little girl. She was over the stove mixing the chocolate together and I was plopping them down on the wax paper. So those are memories that I will cherish forever. But what I have right here is just a few inches of water that is boiling over the stove, and I am going to put my bowl right on top. So if you have a double boiler, you would use this. I don't, so I'm using a bowl over that boiling water, but once it's boiling, turn it down just a little bit so that it's not touching the bottom of your bowl, because then the chocolate would burn. But what we are going to add first is 1 packet of milk chocolate chips right on into the bowl. And then I have a package of butterscotch. And guys, these smell so good. I always steal just a few to snack on while these chocolates are melting. So again, over that medium-high heat, and we are just going to be mixing this together. Now be careful, if you are using a glass bowl, that is going to get hot. This plastic one isn't too bad, but make sure that you have one of those hot pads on hand, and you are just going to slowly stir this until all the chocolate is melted together. So now that the chocolate is all melted and it's velvety and that rich brown color, we are going to turn the heat off, very important, and then pop in the peanuts. So I just have regular cocktail peanuts. Make sure that they are salted so you get a little bit of that sweet and saltiness, and make sure that they are not dry roasted. I was looking at the store today and most of them were dry roasted, but no, you want those cocktail peanuts. We are going to put the entire can in. I do about 3/4 first, because you want to make sure that there is enough chocolate to cover all the peanuts, and then you will just mix them in so everything is covered in that chocolatey butterscotch goodness. So now that the peanuts are all mixed in, now comes the most tedious part, like my mom would say, or the most fun part for me, is actually going to be dropping the chocolates onto wax paper. So I have just a cute little cloth below, 2 sheets of wax paper. That is going to make sure that these nut clusters don't stick. So what you are going to need, 2 spoons, relatively easy, and I have a little hot pad to put the bowl on. And you are just going to put a little dollop, maybe an inch or so, and just drop it right down and try to make it into a circle. Again, best as you can. It's really hard because these are still so warm and melty, but you're just going to do this about maybe 25, 30 times for this batch. But if you're going to be making a lot for your friends and family, you might want to double, maybe even triple this batch. But this is a really fun way to get the kids involved so they can say that they helped make the candy that they were giving to the friends. So I'm going to do this and then show you cute little ways that you can tie the baggies up. Now that the nut clusters have cooled, they can either sit on the counter for a few hours or pop them in the fridge to make that time go faster. You can either keep them plain, or I had some green sprinkles that I put on top. That gets into the holiday spirit. So you can either leave them out on your counter, and I promise they will be gone in a blink of an eye, or you can get these little gift bags at any store really, and you will pop the nut clusters right on in. And then they have these cute little ties so you can tie them up. So it's perfect to take as a gift for any parties that you are going to, or give to your kids' teachers. I know my teachers used to wait all year for these, but now that they are finally cooled, we have to taste. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is my childhood in a bite. So you're getting that sweetness from the chocolate chips, but that butterscotch hits you right away. And I love the crunchiness from the peanuts, also a little bit of that saltiness. Oh, it's so good. 2 in 1. Your family and friends are going to love these, but I'd love for you to share your favorite holiday dessert recipe with me on Facebook at Simply Sweet Allison. Make sure to share any of your photos. I love to see what you guys make. We are very excited for the holidays here at Simply Sweet, and we are all about our holiday drinks. So Crystal, what are we going to be making today?
We are going to be making a Peppermint Fizz.
It's going to be so nice.
So the Fizz cocktail is a very traditional cocktail, and it's usually used with gin, but today we're going to be using Jack Daniel's Fire Whiskey.
Oh, it's going to keep you so warm
Yes.
over the season.
Whiskey keeps you nice and warm, keeps the chest warm. So it's definitely more of a holiday cocktail, and we're going to be using a little bit of peppermint schnapps. We do have an extra step with this cocktail, but it is very easy. And we're also going to be using a little bit of egg white to give it a nice froth. that's what we're
like
looking
that. And
for.
that's super trendy right now. So
Yes.
gotta be in this season. Okay, so what's the first step?
All right, so we're gonna take an ounce and a half of the Jack Daniel's Fire Whiskey. Right? And this cocktail has to be jiggered. It's very measured, so be aware of that. I do 3/4 of the peppermint schnapps. I'm using Ruppelmans to give it that peppermint flavor.
Whoa.
I add a little bit of simple syrup. I'm doing a 1/2 ounce just for a little bit more sweetener.
Okay.
I'm going to be doing 3/4 of lemon juice because
just
when
gonna give it
I
the acid?
shake the cocktail, it actually cooks the egg whites.
Wow,
Yes.
that's interesting.
So if you're worried about mixing with egg white and getting sick or anything like that, don't have to worry. As long as you're using citrus with your cocktail, it'll definitely cook the egg white.
That's good to know.
All right, so I added an ounce of heavy cream, okay? And I'm gonna ice shake first.
So this is definitely going to be a little bit of a creamier drink, almost like a
Yes.
dessert, which I definitely like.
Yes, definitely. All right, and then I'm gonna strain the ice from that, and then I'm going to add my egg white.
Okay, pro over here.
So I'm actually just using 1 egg white from an actual egg.
And it's nice because you can use the shell. If you just keep going back and forth, the yolk will stay in the middle of the shell while you
Yes.
get all the egg whites in there.
All right, and then I'm going to dry shake now. Now this is the very important part. The longer you dry shake, the more frothier it's going to be, and that's what we're looking for.
That means it'll just have the little bubbles on top, making it nice and airy. Go down really smooth for
Yes.
your holiday season.
We're gonna pour it into our Collins glass.
I love that. And it has the cute peppermint around the rim.
Yes, I have a little bit of peppermint candy around the rim. Now you're gonna let it sit there for about 20 seconds. That way all of the froth will rise. Now this is also very important. You're gonna get some nice cold soda water to top it off, and that is going to make it the fizz.
Okay.
All right, so it's been sitting for a few seconds now, and I'm just going to top it off.
Wow. You can see it bubbling right on up. That is so cool. It's beautiful. I love that. And it's cool to have the peppermint because that goes really well with the alcohol that's in there.
Yeah, and then I just like to, you know, if you want to add another little candy cane on there. It's a very traditional cocktail, also very creamy. The Jack Daniel's Fire gives it that cinnamon flavor that you're looking for, and the peppermint from the schnapps.
I love this. And even if you don't have the peppermint, maybe you could get holiday colored sprinkles to put right on top. That would be really festive as well. But this is going to be so fun for any of your holiday parties that you have planned. So thank you, Crystal. And cheers.
You're welcome. Cheers.
I hope you enjoyed all of these recipes, and make sure to share any photos that you make with me on Facebook at Simply Sweet Allison. I can't wait to see them, but I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.